Just a couple of additional steps here to make sure that all of the station systems are configured properly before Kim begins to move the Canadarm2 in for its grapple. This is the view from the end effector camera on Canadarm2, looking directly at that grapple fixture. Space station now has been commanded into free drift. All thrusters are disabled.
Station, for your awareness, we are beginning our approach.
We copy.
Canadarm2 now in motion. It's go time for Johnny Kim. Cygnus holding very, very steady. Good motion from the arm reported by the robotics officer here in Mission Control. Just a couple of meters away from grapple. Two meters. Just 1 meter now. And defector approaching the pin. We have soft capture now awaiting snares. And the snares have closed. Signal arrival. Cygnus now at the International Space Station. Grapple time at 6:24 a.m. Central Time, 7:24 a.m. Eastern Time. The International Space Station was flying over the southeastern Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, at the time of capture. Once again, capture timed at 6:24 a.m. Central, 7:24 a.m. Eastern Time. Cygnus's journey to the station now complete, and soon will be attached mechanically to the Unity module of the International Outpost. So all of the rendezvous maneuvers that were based and executed from a revised burn plan that began to unfold late last night were conducted flawlessly by Cygnus. All of its systems performed perfectly, arriving at the station for a grapple at 6:24 a.m. Central Time, 7:24 a.m. Eastern Time.
Station on 2, Cygnus capture complete. Go for Cygnus post-capture reconfiguration. A big congratulations to the NASA and Cygnus teams for a successful Cygnus launch, rendezvous, and capture. Adapting and overcoming unforeseen challenges is something we do at NASA, and I'm very proud to be a part of this team. I'd like to hand the comm over to my crewmate and friend, Mike Fink, who has something very special to say about NG-23.
Yeah, today we welcome aboard the SS William C. McCool. Willie, yeah, he was my astronaut classmate, class of '96, fellow Sardine. He's a gifted pilot, a devoted crewmate, and a man of deep humility whose life continues to inspire us. To see a ship bearing his name safely arrive at the station is a reminder that his courage and kindness are still circling our beautiful planet Earth. Willie and his STS-107 crewmates gave their lives in the pursuit of science, and the experiments they carried aloft continue to shape research today. So, to the teams at Northrop Grumman and NASA who made this mission possible, thank you for the care and dedication that keep us supplied and connected with home. Every cargo transfer bag, every experiment, every piece of hardware and spare part inside this Cygnus carries your hard work and our gratitude. Willie's legacy lives on in this moment, in our mission, and in the future that we're building together in low Earth orbit and onto the Moon and Mars.
And thanks for that, folks. And from us, a huge congratulations from the team here in Houston and our partners on what is the 51st catch using the Canadarm2. Capturing the SS McCool, as you said, brings aboard important science and supplies that will allow you to continue our mission of discovery on station. Mike, thanks for your words about your friend and our late NASA colleague, Commander William McCool, the namesake of this incredible vehicle. We all think he would have been really proud of the collaboration and perseverance that made this mission a success. Thank you all.
With Cygnus in the firm handshake of the Canadarm2 robotic arm, those words first from Johnny Kim of NASA congratulating the Northrop Grumman NASA team for the flawless rendezvous and capture of Cygnus that occurred at 6:24 a.m. Central Time, 7:24 a.m. Eastern Time, and Mike Fink chiming in with words of tribute to the late NASA astronaut Willie McCool, who lost his life in the Columbia accident on February 1st, 2003. Cygnus bearing McCool's name, soon to be mechanically attached to the Unity module of the International Space Station. With Cygnus having been captured by the Canadarm2 robotic arm just a few minutes ago, it will be about an hour and a half to 2 hours before it is mechanically attached to the Unity module on the Earth-facing side of the U.S. segment of the International Space Station. In the meantime, joining us here on console is Bill Spetch, the International Space Station Program's Operations Integration Manager. Bill, thanks for joining us today. A day late, but not a dollar short. Better late than never. Cygnus safely in the grasp of the Canadarm2. Give us a little insight into what transpired over the last 24 to 36 hours that revised the plan to enable Cygnus to come home safely here.
Yeah, as you guys know, it's a very intricate planning exercise that we have to go through to arrive at space station and rendezvous at a very specific point in space. And so when we had a couple of issues with a couple of burns getting cut short, that caused that trajectory to be off. And so it takes some time to go replan that. And making sure that we could arrive at station safely. So the teams took the requisite time to do that replanning, and we ended up here this morning getting successfully captured.
In the end, the spacecraft, the Cygnus itself, performed as advertised, as it was supposed to in its software protection, if you will. Can you give us a little more information about exactly what happened and how Northrop Grumman's engineers worked in concert with NASA to revise this plan?
Sure. The Cygnus spacecraft has a number of monitors that it watches to make sure that everything is going healthy. In this case, there was one specific parameter that appeared to be just off late in these burns that we had cut off. And so that worked exactly as expected, monitoring a current into the engine. And when it does that, it shuts off the burn. And now we're a little bit short on where we needed to be. And so that causes us to actually race out farther in front of the station as opposed to slowing down and coming up underneath it. So we had to do a bit of a racetrack maneuver to burn, then to get above the station, come around behind it, and come back down below to catch up again.
So with today's arrival of Cygnus and its imminent attachment to the station coming up in the next hour and a half or so, that is the second cargo craft to arrive at the station in just 4 days in the wake of the Progress 93, the Roscosmos cargo ship this past Saturday. Some 8.5 tons of cargo arriving at the station in rapid-fire succession. How important was this series of delivery runs?
Oh, it's critically important. You know, we've gone a little bit in terms of time in between major resupplies. Although SpaceX 33 just arrived as well, so this fall we always knew was very, very busy in terms of the amount of cargo. This brings up a lot of critical consumables for the crew, food, water, a lot of extra spares, and of course the great science that we get to do on board the station. So these regular resupply runs and especially this great capability that Cygnus brings and the amount of cargo that it brings to us is critical for us to keep us running smooth and doing the things that we need to do on board to do the research.
You mentioned a busy fall, but it doesn't stop. We're just about 4.5 weeks away from the next cargo ship launch, the debut of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency's HTV X1. I know the reviews are beginning in earnest for that launch from the Tanegashima Space Center in southern Japan. What will HTV X1 bring to the table in terms of more cargo and more capability for these delivery activities for the station?
Yeah, it really brings an excellent capability to provide both internal cargo as well as external cargo from just a completely different source. And what we like to do is have as many different sources of resupply as we can. Obviously, if something goes wrong, God forbid that we run into an issue with one aspect of our fleet, having multiple resupply capabilities really is what makes this partnership so strong.
Okay, Bill, very good. Cygnus now in the grasp of the Canadarm2, soon to be mechanically attached to the station, and then the crew can work its way towards opening the hatch probably later today to begin unloading its cargo. We appreciate your time this morning, as always. Bill Spetch, the Operations Integration Manager for the International Space Station program. Thanks much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
This is Mission Control Houston, a good view of the SS Willie McCool, the Northrop Grumman Cygnus XL cargo craft that arrived at the space station after a flawless rendezvous this morning, with its grapple by the Canadarm2 robotic arm having been executed at 6:24 a.m. Central Time, 7:24 a.m. Eastern Time, as the two vehicles flew 260 miles over Central Africa. The robotics officer here in Mission Control will soon begin to maneuver Cygnus to its installation position on the Earth-facing side of the U.S. segment of the station, ultimately positioning it for alignment for a mechanical capture to the common berthing mechanism on the Unity module of the International Outpost. We will take a break in our coverage now and return at 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time for installation coverage to latch up the newly arrived Cygnus XL spacecraft to the International Space Station. In the meantime, this is Mission Control Houston.